Good morning, Trader Fam. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. It is 55 degrees here on the West Coast and about 5:32 in the morning. That would make it, about 8:32 there on the East Coast. So we're a little bit behind you guys, but rise and shine. We are here. Let me get some few things set up here and we'll get going. Got some exciting news. Prospecting page. There we are. And make sure, and we'll check out this drug later too. I left that on. So, hope everybody had a great trading day yesterday. As you know, we have a new schedule, and we're still massaging the channel to the that best fits everybody, myself and your guys' self as well. So, let me go ahead and switch these around and make sure that's all up and going. Okay. Like I said, good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and let's go ahead and dive in and let's see what the market's all about. So, got some exciting things that we can talk about here this morning. So, progress. Let's talk about progress. Bear with us. We're little by little. We're all putting this together. So, with help from the Discord and through different affiliates. So, the scanner situation that I've been speaking about, everything came through, and we are now affiliated with Trading Ideas. So we're going to have much more literature from them, and also we'll be using their scanners. Those that don't know, you will find out once we run the scanners because their link will be at the bottom. So it's a great platform. Most that are not familiar with it, basically what they are, they're a scanner platform. So if you're familiar with, I'll say their names because I think they're great channels too. So if you're familiar with Stock Rocks, Zendu, them type of things, Precision Day Traders, great job, you guys. If you guys are hearing this, definitely one of my idols. But we're able to bring that same platform that they have to you guys here at Bullfrog and TA. So not only is our Discord going to be able to enjoy these scanners, everybody here on YouTube, and we are going to be running these scanners until 5 o'clock my time, which basically is the close of post market. So we will be running the scanners throughout the day. Hopefully by tomorrow I have this all up and going, so that possibly, we're just talking to Diane right now, one of our administrators, that we're possibly how we're going to put it out. We'll see how you guys like. If you want to see my charts and the scanners over the side while I'm on for the first 2 hours, or we can just put the scanners up and then put me down in a little box. We'll massage and play it by ear. But very excited and very thankful for Trading Ideas to affiliate with us, and it's gonna be a very exciting business adventure together, and I can't wait for all of us to benefit out of it. So a little bit about Trading Ideas, what they do. It's a scanner. It's nothing that you can just go pop up. They're going to throw your scanners. You have to tweak these scanners to your own formula. So I believe the formula that I have it will work, and it has worked already with what little bit I've tested with. So a little bit like I said, we're a little bit like those other scanner channels. But every scanner channel, they have their scanners are tweaked to their own way. So we may read off some of the same that they have. We may read off some that they don't have, all depending on how it collaborates and far as how we do our inputs. So we're gonna narrow down those inputs. Good morning, Grumpy. And good morning, Diane. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, RJ. Good to see you guys in here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna tweak these scanners to where we're gonna blow all the competition away, man. What we're gonna do, we're gonna be able to get into these plays before they take off, and get that really prime, that really special entry prices, so we get on some plays and spread the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So. It's that's very exciting. I'm very pumped up about that. Can't wait to get that started. I'm going to jump right back into it once I get off stream here, so we get that out to you guys as fast as we can. So thank you, Trading Ideas. Trade Ideas. I really appreciate you guys over there, and I'm excited to be working with you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into it real quick and see. Right now we're already about 7 minutes into it. I know I can eat that up really quick with SPY. Let's go over and take a look at the overall market right now, see where it's at, and then we will then we'll go see what SPY is up to, and then we'll follow up to the rest. Okay, so looks to be. Let me get a double check over here if this is correct. Okay, so it looks like right now we got the red market coming in. So we got the Russell 2000 that is down 0.47%. We got the S&P 500 that is up, down 1.12%. Nasdaq is down 1.27%. Dow Jones is down 0.69%. So overall red market thus far. Let's go ahead and pop open. Let me go over my charts here. Let's open our heat map. Take a look at that and see if it's a bloodbath. There we are. Refresh this. Okay, so yeah, I don't see how that's all green yet. So we're gonna skip this all together. I mean, you guys, here it is now. There's all kinds of different heat maps out there. This not really making sense to me. Let's go back to our layout. Okay. You know what? Let me go over here, set up this one right here, make sure the scanner is up and going as well. There's a few movers here at the bottom of the screen here. Let me make sure this is refreshed. Remember that data refreshing your charts is very important. You may think you got the data coming in as it should, but theoretically you might be frozen up there. So, and it may not be, it can't, it's not necessarily because of your internet, your computer, whatever. It could be just the platform itself having problems. So always check those refreshes if you're in and out really quick, because if you don't, you can be trapped in a frozen chart there. So we're refreshed there. Looks like we got a couple UTRS. I have that noted down here for this morning. That's already up. What is it? 221%. So we're going to be going through some of these lists. There's some here that you can see on the chart from Webull that provides us. And let me turn this one on here. So we kind of take a little ponder at that while I'm getting everything up and going. And okay, so what I'll do is I'll read off the Bullfrogs list this morning. So if you want to take this time, grab a pen and paper. I'll spit those out in case I get caught up in going through SPY. At least you guys can pull off of listening to me if you want and go ahead and start hitting these tickers and see if you want to find a position. So give it about 30 seconds, and then we will. I will be shooting out some tickers. So these tickers are going to run from about, let's just say from $50 down. Typically, I like to throw out things that are from $20 down, but there's a couple a little bit higher ones here, high caps. And then we're going to come all the way down to penny stocks. So those that don't know me, I am a momentum player. I enjoy my penny stocks. They're a lot of fun. I like taking $1, turning it into $2. But they're at the same note, they're dangerous. You can get caught up if you don't know what you're doing, and be sitting on something for about a year if you don't get out of your trade on time. So remember to set your stop losses. Me personally, I don't like letting the market know exactly what my next move is. So I do all my stuff manually. I do not go into more trades than I can handle myself. I know I've done it in the past. Things slip away at that point. You can't keep your eyes on it. So whatever position you're in, make sure you have a screen up. Your eyes are on it during the whole time you're in the position, because if you leave your money on the table, somebody will come by to pick it up, and there goes your gains. So definitely put your stop losses in. Keep your eyes on your charts, and we'll go ahead and jump into it. So this morning on my MOMO, what I got ZURA, and right now currently it's at $7.40. I see that to be a momentum play for today, so let's see if we get that one up and going. Another one that I was looking up for momentum would be GCT. That is George Cat Thomas, and that was sitting at around $10.44. So, first one I just caught off right now, that's at ZURA, that's Zebra Uncle Robert Apple, and that is at $7.40. So, catch the balance is what we're thinking about here. Is that one I mentioned? Is that GCT George Cat Thomas? That is on the catch the balance list. Let's see what else we got here. We got RNR. That's Robert Nancy Robert. That one currently, this is a large cap here, folks, and that's $193, but there's some more minimums going on to that. So throwing a little higher dollar stocks here for those that like to dabble with those or they play those. So earnings today, we got BZ, which is that's a boy zebra, and it's currently right now at $17.50. That GCT, I'm going to say it again, that's came up on several different scanners. That has earnings as well, and that price was $10.45. That was George Cat Thomas. The other one looks like, how do we get some halts already? That's interesting. All right. So another one we want to keep an eye on is ENVB. That's Edward Nancy Victor Boy, and currently the price is $4.54. So there's that one. Uterus. Did I say UTRS? Okay, so yeah, UTRS Uncle Thomas Robert Sam. That is currently at 58 cents. And it is up 218% on the day. That's right there on the Webull chart that you're seeing there. Ones that are moving right now that if you take a look at it, could be going upwards, hitting that consolidating, and we continue upward trend. So keep your eyes out for all those little indicators, little signs that you see in these charts. So another one we have is UPXI. That is Uncle Paul X-ray indicator, and that is currently at $3.19. So another one we got here is SGE. That's Sam George Edward, and that's at $3.70 here, coming up to the open. Another one down the list here. Those that I'm not sure if those are familiar, but they got FO here. That's PHIO. That's Paul Henry Indicator Oscar, and that's currently at $4.82. Definitely see some more upside in that as well. We got another one for here popping up here on the Catch the Bounce. We got XPON, and that is X-Ray Paul Oscar Nancy, and that's currently at $4.70. So do have some $20 ones here. KSS, that is Kitten Sam, and that's currently at $21.55. Definitely keep your eye on that one. I've kind of started watching that one yesterday a little bit. Ones you might be familiar with, you got MTEX, that is Mary Tom Edward Kitten, and currently right now that one is at $1.02. So we got some things moving already this morning here. Do see that we got an overall red market. Let me move this over. Overall red market is already starting off, but we talked about yesterday, we started seeing how SPY was reacting. We already had the warnings, we had SPY. It did a fabulous job, for whatever money, where that money came from, I have no idea. But ticker, I speak a lot about ticker. Ticker did a fabulous job, kept itself up, and kept a nice upward direction. But as we all know, when you carry that watermelon, that bricks too long, you're going to have to set it down. So is that what SPY wants to do right now? Let's go ahead and dive in and let's find out, see exactly where we left off from yesterday. So no, we don't want that one. We want this one. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this up right there. Dive into here. We got our SPY. All right, look at all those scribbles, zibbles, zabbles. Pretty ugly chart, huh? That's a heck of a thing to wake up to in the morning, right? So That's on the 30-minute. So what we're going to do, because I have this data already saved, we're going to delete all this and get ourselves a fresh plate to think about, right? Because now we're switching directions. Most of the lines I had on there and stuff was for that momentum up. Now we're on momentum players. So we're starting to get some consolidating coming back. I want some new charts, want some fresh lines. I do have my daily support and resistance lines on backed up here in the data. So all that little gibberish that was that I just erased was just nonsense. That was only for the play and for us to get the information I need. So if I sat here all year long and put down every single line, we are not going to be able to see these charts. So keep your charts clean. It's very simple on the mind for myself, and I hope for for my viewers as well. So here we are on the 30-minute. Of course, we want to go over and take a look at a daily, see how our daily is doing. You can see our RSI came up a little bit high, starting to come down here. It did the death cross on the RSI, and it turned around that 94 area. So we got the SMI that is turning around, coming to the downside. You can see that the oscillators that we have here on the daily, that the bulls have left and the bears have entered town. So definitely on the daily, if you're familiar with these patterns, you know that we just came off the top right here. We're coming down, starting to go into a consolidating period. Okay, so we can expect another 1 or 2 more candles before we get a complete confirmation for the upside on the daily. Okay, so you never know. Jerome may want to come in here and turn on his machine and start printing all kinds of fake money. We call that studio money here in Southern California. But we all know that's just fake, and that's not where the numbers should be. So, so be careful. It is what it is. We'll play the market how they throw it at us. And continue to protect our earnings along the way. So, daily right now, I see it coming down. So let's jump back down over to 4 hour. And 4 hours, same thing. Like I said, on the 1 hour, see how I said we're going to need a couple more candles before we can get a stableness, before we can say, hey, we're going to start. We found some support. We're going to be going to the upside. So if you look at this chart, and if I were to flip back over to the daily, you see how I'm asking for it to give me a couple more tickers or ticks before I commit myself to that, or start seeing stuff for the upside. Okay, so here's the 4 hour. You can see we still need some more. Need to come down a little bit. Go to the 4 hour. We wanted to do exactly what this 4 hour is doing. It's coming down. Found a bottom. We have 2 lines right now. We need a third line for confirmation. If not, it's going to drop out. So on the 4 hour right now, you can see a consolidating period. All right. So until we can get that breakout, because that's exactly what it's going to be setting up. It's going to do a breakout wedge. You can see already that we have the SMI. Remember, the SMI has more value than the RSI. SMI is below waist high. So we're about a quarter way up, it looks to be. Let's go, when I say quarter of the way, when I start saying it's waist high, this is the center of our RSI. It's great to have this oscillator there, not only for the information it gives you that halfway point without throwing your line. So basically, this is halfway point from the high, halfway point from the low. So you can see over here on the 4 hour that previously back over here on March 10th, that was our low, pretty much where we're getting to right now. Same thing, we tapped it right here, waiting for the third tap down. So I do see SPY coming down a little bit more on that SMI. Can we do that during a consolidating period? Absolutely. So the ticker doesn't necessarily have to come down for us to get that SMI down, but because during consolidation, it can still get that. It can definitely get that down. We got the RSI on the 4 hour is at the very bottom. This would be buy-in area, but remember, we want the confirmation from our SMI before our RSI, and definitely see it in the chart. So the RSI is saying that we got some upside coming up, but that upside can be that consolidating that we were just talking about. So remember, we want to keep an eye on our legs and see the positions on those. So right now you can see that we fell out right here. And like I said, folks, these lines are very important. They work for me. I'm not sure if they're going to work for you, but how this works right here, you can see that we had the upwards trend line going on, and these are EMAs that I'm pointing out right here. We have our light blue, and then we have our dark blue. Right at this point, what happened is our lines crossed. So we got EMA, we had dark blue flip to the downside. What happens when it goes to the downside? The market's going down. So until these two legs start closing up, we're not going to be able to, I'm not going to get my confirmation I need for that upside. So definitely keep an eye on the legs, how wide they're open. At this point, we want them to close up and do a flip to the other side. You can see that the 55 has already gone through the 100 and 200, and the 100 has gone through the 200. So now that puts us into a death cross. We are in a death cross right now on SPY on the 4 hours. So, all right. Currently, right now, we can see that it opened at $417. Wow, $417.08, and the high today was $418.72. The low today was $412.45. That's probably what got this right here to get down low and try to find itself in that consolidating period. Currently, our volume is at $4.71. I'm sorry, volume's at 471. 0.86 thousand with the I forgot my average is not over here. I have to go pick up another chart. So SPY, really no volume here in the morning on it. So let's jump back down to the half hour. Let's bring everything now to this present time to to see how it's going to react. So right now, let's go ahead. Okay, this is the half hour. Looking for any kind of signs right here, patterns. I definitely want to acknowledge, okay, what position are we at? We are in a death cross. I want to look at my legs here. Are they wanting to cross? Now they're still on the downside. Even if I saw my EMA come up and wanted to touch it, I'm not going to buy that it's going to the upside until I get more confirmation. Because it can't pretend it wants to touch, fake you out, and then legs will open right back up again. You definitely wait till you get the confirmation of these two crossing before you go into any play if you're playing for the upside. These MOMO plays that I'm playing too as well. There's option ways. I mean, me personally, I don't specialize in options. We have other traders on the floor, fabulous option players. That one, they can help you out if need to be. Two, they teach me, and there is plays with some of these MOMO things that I'm throwing out to you guys. So as far as with the options, but most of the stuff that I'm going to be reporting on right now is for today. Same thing with our scanners. There are for today's plays. You can use them for entries, to get your prime entry point, but there's a lot of information, not just for one sector right here when it comes to what I'm things I'm describing here. So definitely, if you're doing swings, you're gonna be paying attention when I talk about the day trades. 4 hours, you want to pay attention on the swing trades, those shorts. So right now, we want to go down. We want to know right now we're momentum, right? So we're just going to walk this chart down. As I walk down these numbers, as I said yesterday, I'm not really keeping too much an eye on this when I flicker down because I need speed, through this. Time is money. So I'm going to be looking at my RSI and I'm going to be looking at the SMI. So ideally, we like to get in a position when the RSI is down below the 20 because we're going to ride that right back up to the 80. You can cash out and then go ahead and wait for it to come back down and then go for the next pump up. Okay, ideally, that's how you want to do it. You don't want to get in the trade when we're already up at this high because you're only going to gain so much more and your risk factor just went way up. So keep an eye on the SMI. SMI here, you can already see that we're about a quarter of the way down. And it looks like the bulls are starting to leave here as well on the oscillators, if you can see that. So let's bump down to the 15-minute. Remember, I'm keeping an eye on this. So you can see the 15-minute. We're ready to get shut down the RSI, and the SMI is getting shut down. Oscillator is coming down to the bearish side. You can see the pattern already starting here. So we are going to see a little bit more lows before we see the new highs. Jump down the 5-minute. Same thing. We got the RSI coming down on a downward trend. Same thing with the SMI, downward trend. The bears are holding very, very tight right here. But the interesting fact, if we zoom in here, you can see that. Remember, this is our halfway point. This is the bulls. This is the bears. You can see that they're not giving away to the bears too much. So they've been riding off about equal. So it's kind of like tight fight. So seeing this right here and seeing what we've already seen, something triggers in my head today. It's consolidating. Okay, we're going to see some consolidating. We're going to give a little bit of room, to S triple Qs. So keep those in mind. Watch those triple Qs. Great play for the time that we're in. So here we go. We're coming up on the now we're at the 1 minute. We're seeing what SPY is doing right now. Okay, so I am noticing a little bit of a pattern starting up here. If you were to draw your line, your trend line down from here, and then we come across at the bottom. That, remember, when two lines cross, there's always a reaction. And then seeing how close we are with the RSI, that indicates that this reaction is going to pop. And then also we need to definitely see that SMI start heading towards where it wants to cross. So watch the time of sales and the volumes on that, all depending how you play this or how you look at the SPY. So I use this as a tool. I do not play SPY unless something really grasps my eye or gets my attention. Other than that, I leave it alone. It's just an indication for me how the day is going to go. So as we're coming up right now, as I'm speaking, you can already see that the SMI is now ready to cross over, and we are getting ready on the RSI. So we talk about consolidating. Consolidating, what it does, it likes to run in a channel. And remember, if we have a downward slope and we go into consolidation period, remember, longer the consolidation period is the bigger reaction you're going to get when it flips to one way or the other. As it comes down on this downward consolidation and we come across, I assume, and history has repeated itself, that we're going to continue that downward slope. Okay, so don't get fooled in this channel. And when I say by channel and consolidating, now we got to find a channel that it's going to run. Okay, so this is a fresh chart here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go. We already what was our high today. We're definitely not going to be touching those. So I say right now, this is the channel on the 1 minute that we want to watch right now. So we have, what is this here? We have that 412.50 area for the top side of the channel. So wait for that breakout to the top side on that. And then as far as the bottom of that, the basement would be the 412.21. So watch this area, this consolidating area. It could step up and give us another consolidating area, which is right about here. So we have that area as well. Okay, so it could come up and retouch up into this, and we could be playing this channel or this small channel here. We'll see. Time will only tell. So definitely see consolidating happening. After the consolidating happening, I'm anticipating more downside. All right, so that's our SPY. Let's go over here to our S triple Qs, and let's see if we see the same thing. So here we are in the daily with the S triple Qs. Remember, this is a reversal, folks. So we don't have that many lines. We'll keep the ones that we have up there right now, and let's just kind of look at here. Let's just close it out so we get a better picture. Okay, and look at we got Charles is stepping into the trading floor. Good morning, Charles. Over here to the thing. Hey, Lionel, good morning. Just jumping over to chat here to catch up everything. Good morning. Like I said, good morning, Grumpy, Randy. We got Diane in there. Thank you for all your help. RJ. Yeah, like I said, and that's right, Lionel. It is hump day. So we got hump day madness going on over in the trading floor. And going back over here. Yeah, Grumpy. That's what when I saw that heat map, when he said it looks green but yours is looking red, I wasn't buying that heat map. So instead of diagnosing or diving in trying to fix it, I just pulled that heat map right off. Let's not let that confuse us. So thank you for that confirmation. So jump back over here on the daily on the S triple Qs. You can see that the RSI is at the bottom. That is buying zone. We have plenty of room for the upside. The SMI, we already got the crossover like we were talking about just a minute ago. We want to see that those legs cross. They crossed, so we have room for the upside. You look at an oscillator that the bears have left, and the bulls are ready to start to take over. So right now, currently, we have 1.35 in volume right now. Today's high was 25.70, and I'm sorry, opened at 25.70, and today's high was 26.75. And the low was 25.45. So you can even see how it's already did that little spread there that, that indicates more that, hey, we're coming to we're gonna be looking for a lot more upside on S triple Q. So those are playing options. That should ring a bell right there. Go ahead and get your calls while you can, and while you're getting the calls, remember, anything that goes up must come down. Go ahead and get your puts on it. So a lot of information here, for all different sorts of traders as we go through and look at the spies in the morning, So, but definitely right here on the daily, we got some upside. Of course, what does that do? That puts SPY to the downside, which we already figured out just a minute ago. So they're complementing each other. These two analysis right now that we're coming up with are complementing each other. It's working. They're not working against each other. So whether we like it or not, that's just how it's happening. So here we are. We got the daily. We got plenty of room for the upside. On the daily, I say that, hey, you know what? Let's go and get that. Ooh, no, we're not going that far right now on the daily. Daily would be nice to actually just get up to that 30, 90 if we can, but we'll see. I mean, got everything shown. We can throw some big candles. We'll see what happens. I mean, they threw some big candles at SPY with what money, I have no idea. So there's no reason why S triple Qs can't sit there and throw a couple of big candles. So just something to think about. Nothing saying it's going to happen. So keep an eye. We're still waiting for that confirmation on our daily with our EMAs. You can see if I pop it open here that we have the dark blue is still at below the light blue. We need that to flip. We got a decision candle coming up here. We do got upward trend happening on the daily. We do have the dark blue is fingering up towards the light blue. It wants to do the crossing. So daily upside, lots of upside. 4 hours, let's break it back down. 4 hour, we're starting to get that confirmation of the upside. You can see that we were in a death cross here. Now we're flipping over to the golden cross. We have our 55 just approaching the 200, ready to get that crossover. Once we get that happening and this 100 crosses over, that will put us in our golden cross. So mind the crossings, how they do the reactions. If you follow me in the past, they do when these lines do cross, when we go into a death cross and a golden cross, the ticker does something, and it gives it, like I said, if we're going into a death cross, then it likes to give it one last breath, so we're gonna see the ticker run up a little bit, but shortly after it's going to be dumping down, and as we go through that cross. So keep those in mind. You can use those for entries and exits, however you prefer. So right now we're on the SMI here on the 4 hour. We're about waist high, a little over waist high right now. The bulls are in town. They're ready to play. The RSI is high, but remember, look where our position is on our SMI. We can create newer highs on the RSI. So we're in game time with RSI right now. The volatility is there. This is where you make money, but your risk factor is going up because remember, once we get up to those past that 80, at that point, tickers or the RSIs do like to tend to come down. But seeing how strong we are in SMI, we'll be testing some new highs on the RSI. So 4 hour, I see positive. 4 hour, I see that return of 28.53. So we got 28.53 on the S triple Qs for the 4 hour. And that'll be our first step. Right after that, we can start looking for some newer highs, and that's around that $30. So seeing highs, I got that 30.63 already twice right now off the day chart and the 4 hour chart. If I was playing this, that's kind of like what I'll be liking. I like to get that 30. That's my goal. Okay, so let's go to bust this down to the old half hour. Half hour, we're about 3/4 the way up on our SMI. And you can see that the legs are opening. Still's got some room to the upside. RSI is starting to get ready to pinch to the downside, but that might be that consolidating that we saw in the 1 minute on SPY. So SQs can go in a consolidating period as well at the same time. So keep an eye on this. I think we're still testing new highs on RSI. Definitely be paying attention to your SMIs, and let's see what kind of pattern we got going on here. So as you can see, there's that. We can leave those up. That's not really going to bother us right now at this moment for this demonstration, but let's just go ahead and let's drop in our trend line. So I'm going to find that for my trend for now. So remember, trend lines, your trend line may not sit same place my trend line is. The trend line is exactly what it says, what it says it is. It's a trend line. It's just a gauge to see if you're on track. How far it pulls back off of that. You want to get right back up on them. So whether if you want to grab your trend lines from the belly, from the bottom of the bodies, go for it. If you want to go for the top of the wicks or the bottom of the wicks, that's all you, me. I want to see that equal medium. I can see this thing already jogging in and out of my trend line. Obviously, we want to stay on the upper side of that trend line, and that's what I'm going to be using that trend line for. So, and get that information out of it. So here on the half hour, still got some upside to it. Let's go drop down to the 15-minute. Legs are wide open on the RSI. Still got some room getting up and over the 80. SMI legs are wide open. We do got the bulls in town. They're holding pretty steady right here. You can see on the SMI, we got two thick candles at the same height. That's positive for the upside. So still on that 15-minute, we're on that trend line, and we got some upwards momentum going. So currently right now we're at 26.76. Let's go ahead and jump it down here to 5-minute. I'm just looking at the RSIs, looking at the SMIs, looking at the oscillators in the upward trend line, starting to tap up on our downward line. So we do got that position to look at, to keep an eye out for. And let's go down to the 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute says it's coming down. It's going into that consolidating period for the upward. Okay, just like SPY, like we talked about how SPY had that downward consolidating. We assumed to go downwards. Right now we have the upwards. We have just the opposite, as it should on the SQQs. We have the upwards. We're going to do this consolidating, and then we're going to have some more upward momentum coming with this. So you can go ahead and even on the 1 minute, if you want to go ahead and give yourself a gauge, you can always just go ahead and run yourself a channel. Do something like this. Go to the bottom of that wick. Kind of run out of space here. Right there. And let's go to the top of this wick. Right there. Okay. I went with the top of these wicks. Why? Because I got two wicks to get information off, not just that one over here. Okay. So definitely we want to break out of this channel, and you want to break out of this high. So go ahead and throw that high in there. Okay. Identify any color you like, just so you know the difference. Okay. Now if I was to be playing this, I want a no-go zone. So definitely gonna put that out, and I can see right there being a no-go zone. There we go. So anything below this, we come out, break out of that channel, then you know that we're coming back down to retest these areas here. So at the moment, you can see we're coming up. We are testing the top side of this channel. We have to break over that all-time, today's high to continue moving forward. That's funny. Look at it. It says the high 26.78, and it's actually 26.79. So, always do your own math. Don't count on just because this says it doesn't mean it's correct. They mistake. So always have another platform or something else you can do cross-referencing off of. It's always good to keep make sure that you are getting that data. So here on the 1 minute, it looks like that we're in an upward trend on the RSI, and it's getting ready to it crossed over, ready to create some new highs here. So I anticipate us breaking out of this channel here in about a minute, about 1 or 2 more ticks. So we're here on the minute. So that's what we got the overall feel for the market today. I see I lean more towards SQQs and some downside with SPY. Yeah, the only time we'll tell, see if that played out just fine. So, all right, there's that. Now, we have our overall direction in the market. We're not going to waste no more time over there. We're going to jump over. Actually, no, let's just stay over here on this. Let's make sure that nothing here is moving from yesterday. That's fine. And let's go ahead and start popping up some of these tickers that we just called out. So we got that. Definitely want to keep an eye on that ZURA. ZURA. Let's put it over here on this chart. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. So right away, I see a bullish pattern already setting up here. So you can say that we came up and we're starting to do that, create a breakout wedge going here. So This is on the 1 minute. Let me get this out of the way. This is on the 1 minute. Of course, what we want to do, we want to go over our, let's go with daily start. Excuse me, coffee. Start with the daily. Daily, you can see that we came down, and it's just starting to pick it up. The legs crossed. We're ready for some upside. So daily RSI checks out to be good. SMI, same thing, and went in the consolidating period right here with the SMI, and we're getting ready for the breakout. You can see that the bulls are holding really tight. They're not giving in to the bears, so that's looking good. The last earning date recorded was March 28th. So let's go over here. Let's see what the news is on this, while we're here on the daily. Raymond James indicates the coverage on zero bio with strong buy rating, announces target price of $20. So they have a target price of $20. That's reported about an hour ago from Benzinga. So if you want to go ahead and check Benzinga, get more VDD if you're interested in that. We're not going to dive right into it. So we got upside. They're saying $20 for this. Can happen today. Can happen tomorrow. We don't know. The possibilities are just the same as if it's going to happen in 2 or 3 months than it is in 2 and 3 minutes. Okay, so all depending. So let's check our volume. We're on our daily. We're just going over our initial checkpoint or check marks. Okay, so we got our volume right now 315,000 with an average of 340,000. So we just a little bit more get up and over that volume to get this thing starting to move. Currently, right now is $6.53, and we're up 1.81. No, I'm sorry, we're up $1.18, which makes it 22.6% up right now. So ran up, did a great job, consolidated down. You can see a definitely good, nice little push down right there. So daily looks great. I like it for more of the upside. Got plenty of room. Let's go and drop it down to a 4, see what we're starting to see. I'll start seeing what we see. Excuse me. SMI looks good. Legs are open. RSI kind of we're getting about that 80 point. Okay, remember, once we get to this 80 area, that's when volatility comes. That's when things start moving. Okay, so you can see once we get out this consolidating, if we stick with the RSI in the 4 hour, once we get up in this area, that's when you're going to see tickers like this. Okay, so that's, as you can see what happened here. Once we got to this point, what happened? It just popped, right? So it actually this was on May 11th. It went from, that's a very good play right then. It went from $6 to $14. So right now, on the 4 hour, let's just go ahead and set a goal for, you don't want to tease yourself too much, but there's that $10. We're definitely going to mark that $14. And let's go find out this guy there. Okay, we got 822. So right now on the 4 hour, first step I'll be looking for $8.21. And then, of course, here's the marks after, and this was all off the 4 hour. So let's drop down. We want to see what it's doing right now. Half hour, it's coming down, just going to that consolidating period. You can see the bull is leaving. The SMI is pinching to the downside. Legs are opening wide for the downside on the RSI. But you can see in the past, it can come down and pick itself up and come right back up again. I believe this is what the pattern that we're gonna repeat right here, with seeing that what we're already seeing on the later time frames. So right now on the half hour, I see it consolidating. Okay, so let's jump down over here to the 15 minute. That consolidating that we saw in the half hour is playing out, and you can see that we have ourselves a bullish breakout coming on here. So if you were to draw your lines here, draw your lines there, right when they cross, you're going to get a reaction. So do your DD and make sure you do know what the reaction is going to be. We are in a golden cross. Our EMAs, something just happened as I'm speaking right now. Remember, I got to watch my EMAs before I go into any position, or I want to know movement. It just started closing up its legs a little bit. I saw a little flicker down, so that says that, hey, you know what, we're going to be running into this channel here. So let's go ahead and, not this channel, but into this wedge. Let's go with that. And so you folks at home could kind of see what I'm visualizing right now in this little brain of mine. I want to say little, but there you go. So I'll be looking for this area right here. This is the 15 minute, and that's saying 7:15 my time. So about an hour, okay? We might see that breakout in an hour. If not now, from now to an hour, okay? So that's what I'm anticipating. So I'm going to go ahead and as I normally do, I'm going to mark this out and I'm going to make it green because I believe our breakout is to the upside. All right. So let's go down over to the 5-minute. We're at the bottom here of the RSI, that is buying area. You can see that the SMI is down about waist high. The legs are still open. We need those definitely to crossing over. So we'll see the cross of the RSI first, and hopefully we can follow through just as we're talking right now and starting to pinch together for that cross to the upside. So hopefully you can walk this channel down. As you go down, you can refine. You know what? Let's do this one. I'm starting to see something else here. Remember, you got different time frames. The things look a little bit different and act a little bit different. So, no, I'm still good with that. We're gonna stick with that half hour. So, same thing, a little bit consolidating here. You know, that allows us to gain some more volume, and before we go for that breakout to the upside. So, we're definitely testing new highs. Right now, currently, it is $6.59. You know, let's just, you know, be real with each other and say, you know what, I want that. All right, that's my first pull right there, is going to be that $7.49. I'll be happy with that. Almost made $1 there on that trade. It all adds up, you know. Whether if you have, you know, one share, or if you got 1,000 shares, you know, that's $1 you didn't have yesterday that you do now, or that's $1,000 that you didn't have yesterday you do now. If you had 1,000 shares, you know, on that dollar, you know, movement, that's fabulous. So let's go to mark that green so that I know when I come to that area, that's what I'm looking at. And then of course I'm going to be and once I pull my gains out of that, I'm going to put that house money back in, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the $8.21. Long as the momentum is permitting us to. So here we are in the 1 minute. Same thing. I'm seeing more of that consolidating until we reach that channel. So we got about an hour before this thing does pop. You would say this would be a downwards. It didn't do the consolidate. Okay, so we're not going to use that as an equation here. This is an upwards. Was this a consolidated upward pattern? No, I can't really trust that equation either right now. Okay. But I do know what I can say is that this line right here that it's at, it likes. It doesn't want to go any further. So this stock is worth this right now. So definitely be waiting for that break to the upside on this. So I like this ZURA. Set your alarms, you know, try to find your right entry points. Like if I would be in this in particular stock right now, I'll be looking for at least around $6.44. If we can't get that, we got $6.37. And then from there, I'm going to be writing it up. And you know that my goal is $7.53 for my first pull. So there you go. That is this ZURA. That's Zebra, Uncle Robert Apple. And let's go ahead and let's pop up something else here. Okay, so another one. So that's a momentum play. Okay, that's one that we know that it's getting ready to run. Okay, so another one that we want to keep an eye on too for that $10 range would be that GCT. That is George Cat Thomas. And let's go ahead and put them up. George Cat Thomas. And let's go take a look at it. GigaCloud. See what they got. Beautiful in the 1 minute, but we're going to ignore that altogether right now. We're going to look at our daily. Whoo, look at that daily. You can see, I believe this is with when it IPO'd. So it ran up to 60 at open at beginning of this ticker, which was $8.18 of 22. Okay, then it ran up to $62. You all know how the IPOs work. You know, on the daily, are you going to be looking for candles like this on something like this, or would I be? No, not at all. That was an IPO. That's when it opened. They all react that same way. So you can't. This data right here, basically, to be honest, this whole data, don't even look at it. Just look at this ticker from like that, okay? Because this is all nonsense. This is people that's kind of pushed in, anticipated it, they dropped it down. This is the real data. This is the real price of this stock is in this area. So, you can say the last earnings that we had here was on May 24th. That is today. Next earnings. So we have earnings today coming up on that. Is that over my earnings? Yes, it is. So we have earnings today. So The way I'm looking at this is going to be a break to the upside. So hopefully that earnings is going to come out to be good news for this stock. So I definitely see more height on the RSI, on the SMI. The bulls are in town. Legs are crossed for the upside. RSI, same thing. We haven't quite hit the 80 yet. Once we hit the 80, that's volatility. That's when we're going to see some movement going. This thing will start flickering around. The oscillator, we got the bulls are in town. They are creating to be bigger bars on the oscillator for the bullish side. Currently, right now, we today opened at $5.40. The high today was $11.12. Why did that just flicker? That can't be right. Yeah, and our average was 142,000. So this one's looking really good. It's actually starting to move right now. I see the ticker, so we'll kind of zip through this real quick. And let's jump down to the 4-hour real quick. As we're jumping down, going fast through this, right now I'm paying attention to our RSI SMI. Okay, forget about the patterns really on my chart. I do want to keep an eye on our EMAs and the position of our moving averages. So still looking good there. I'm just going to pop down quick on this. Beautiful run up on the half hour, looking great. We got a little divergence going on here. You can see that our volume is popping down, but the ticker's still going up. Divergence, that's good. That's good. RSI, we're getting ready to test some new highs, so it is up. It's up above the 80, but we could definitely test some new highs on the RSI. So I'm not going to look at the prior for any gauge at this point. We already know that this is where it's at now is a prior high from the past. The most recent past. So let's look at SMI. You can see that the bulls are starting to leave town here, but they can pick it right back up as long as we show the strength. Like I said, we do got the volume there that we could turn this back around and still create some new highs. You got on the SMI, you see it came through. It didn't cross. I mean, this thing could have flicked right down if it didn't like it, So it's kind of holding. It hasn't crossed yet, so it's starting to pinch together. So let's go ahead and drop it down. So here on the half hour, with the data that we have, because remember we looked on the daily, we don't have no data. The only data we have is when it IPO'd. Really, go back to the data. I guess we got some data here, but we don't have much, So let's just go ahead but we don't need a lot. So there's that. Going to drop in that one. Okay, so I got a few goals here, and we're going to drop one in right here real quick, right there. Okay, so let's go back down to our half hour. Look at almost tipped right up to that 1190. That's good. What are we looking after that? Don't have it. All right. So we're in a beautiful upward on the half hour. You can see the legs are wide open. Everything looks good. We're in a golden cross. Got room on the SMI and the RSI. We can test new highs. So let's drop it down to the 15. 15. We're starting to do a little bit of pan out here. The bulls they're trying to hold really tight here. So that's showing that, hey, there is some strength going on. Starting to get the crossover for the downside right now with the SMI. SMI is about... It is high. Now, like I said, when we talk about testing new highs, and you can see on the SMI here, it did test new highs, from prior, so it's looking good. Can we go even further on the SMI? Absolutely. It already went this far. Why couldn't it not go a little bit more? So keep an eye on your indications, all your little indicators to get that confirmation for more of the upside. So 15-minute right now. I personally see a consolidating period, but let's drop it down. So here on the 5-minute, you can see on the RSI we're down low. We're down about buying area. SMI and the oscillator. You can see the bulls have been lined up right here, but nothing's been given away to them. So we can still definitely see some upside on that on the SMI. Any kind of pattern I'm seeing here, nothing here on the 5-minute. Keeping an eye on my EMAs and looking at our moving averages. So we're still in the golden cross. Nothing has crossed on the EMA yet. The legs haven't, and so still staying consolidating. Right here on the 1 minute. Now we're talking about what's happening right now, like what's happening. Starting to see a bullish pattern start up right here too. I know that we got some upside coming to it. How I know that is I'm looking at the RSI, legs are open. Looking at SMI, legs are open. Oscillator, we got the bulls in town. So definitely coming up to retest the prior highs and looking for that 1190 for my first pull on this if I were to be into this. You can see the stock did very well today. I mean, it closed yesterday at $5.66, and here we are currently here in the in pre-market, man. We already went up 11 to $11, and what was that high today? 22 cents. So that's beautiful. That's double the money right there. That's some big bucks right there. So congratulations to those are in that. We're coming up to about, let me go back over to the chat. Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. And Lionel said that UTRS that we're talking about had some crazy after-hour pumps. Thank you, Lionel, for that. So looking for that breakout right here on that GCT. You know, you're looking at $11 for a first goal, $11.90. That's a really high risk factor. You're spending a lot of money just to get a little bit back. This thing personally for me, I would want a little bit more out of it. Okay. So I would kind of like actually walk away from this trade altogether, unless I show something really positive that we're gonna get some good news, which we're gonna pop open right here. Let's see what we got. 3 hours ago, technology reports Q1. Okay, so they just reported their earnings. So the earnings already happened on that. So do your own DD, dive into it, and you can figure out how the earnings went and judge for yourself on if we're gonna get a heck of a lot more than that. $11.90 or $12-ish area. So definitely keep an eye around that $12 psychological level. So we're coming up to, we got 2 minutes before the bell opens. As if you're just tuning in now, I'm going to step away from 15 minutes at that point. Once the bell opens, that allows people that who are not allowed to trade in pre-market, and their exchange is open. Once the bell opens, it allows them to be able to close entries from the prior day and possibly get some new entries for today without having me yakking in you guys' ear or you missing out on anything. Okay, so remember, I never run into plays. You walk into plays. I can't really. That's not true. I do run into plays at times. You know, that's the great thing about this trading community we have here, because we have people like RJ that would told me right then, hey, you're full of it. I stop you all the time from running into certain things. So that community, if you haven't yet, we do have a link here in the description to our trading community. It's great. It's free. And we do have that QR code over in the corner. So go ahead and hit your phone up against that, and it'll watch you. It'll bring you right into the trading floor. So come close up to the opening. So thank you, Diane. Everybody watch their charts, and thank you, Diane, for reminding me to remind you at home that our charts here are about 30 seconds off, okay, at the minimum. So you're not going to get the same reactions. If you're following my charts, follow your charts. So thank you, Diane, for that. And we will be back in about 15 minutes. So good luck, folks. Like I said, don't leave. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. Good luck. Alrighty, folks, I am back. Hope everybody got their entries and their exits, and they're ready to go because we got quite a few movers going here this morning. Um, all right. The ZURA, once we walked away, it halted at open. It is back open again, and we're going back for that 788. We still got the 821 ahead of us, and then also I think that's it. So when we get to the 821, we'll do some more charting. Um, if it wants to continue going, so we ain't gonna chart things that we don't need to right now because there's other things that need our attention. Another one we got over here. This is all right now, folks. This is off the 1 minute. Let me go ahead and fix something here for a second. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So let me put this back over here. And that's that. All right. Sorry about that. Just got to readjust things. I kind of moved things around when I was away on that break. So, go back chat. Okay, so we had doors inside the Discord. He was talking about for those people like the large caps. We have that Medora working right now. That's MRNA. That's Mary Robert Nancy Apple. Let's go pop that open right now. Looks to be he's looking to catch that bounce there. So we're on the 1 minute right now. If you catch the bounce, it's 133 right now. I'll be looking on the 1 minute for that return of that 142. So watch that. We got 1 million with an average of 3 million. Definitely got to get some more volume there. But if you're gonna be playing this, that's what I'll be looking for. This will be my no-go zone. And this will be my goal. Let's move this up actually up to. No, we're gonna run. We'll run that one right now for that's fine. This would be our halfway point. So there's our gauge. So you can either take your earnings at that point or whatnot if you're in now. Okay, so there's our downward trend. We're just finishing it up right now. Let's go pop that in. We'll do some drawings here. There we go. Drop that in red. Just kind of give a little more idea. I mean, now we got a lot more information. Not a lot, but we got more information than we did before when we were just looking at that. So there we go. We know our halfway point. Watch this area here because if it doesn't got it, then it's going to be told to sit back down. But we know ultimately we want to go back and retest that 142. So this is the minute chart. Those moves can happen. So keep an eye on it. We'll just back over to the half hour. Half hour, we're at the bottom. It still hasn't crossed its legs. It wanted to on the RSI here, but then it got rejected and started coming down. So we definitely need this to flicker to the upside in the next 30 minutes. So keep an eye on that MARNA. This is looking good. We're at good positions even on the high, as we go into the higher time frames. And we just dropped below this. So remember, this is momentum trading and drawing. So what are you going to do? You're going to move your lines, right? No sense that line being up there if it didn't make sense anymore, right? These lines are only there to make sense to see if we get something to pan out here. So I might want to go ahead at this point, go back and readjust a few things. And like I said, if there's anything that those at home need us to like us to look up or whatnot, go ahead and put it in the chat, put it in all big capital letters so it gets our attention. And also, if you haven't yet, go ahead, please hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps us get out to more viewers and tells us that, hey, we're doing our job over here and you guys are enjoying the content. If not, we're going to mix it up and make sure we get you exactly what you deserve and what you need. And Doors is coming in saying that Madonna is a in and out play. I like that, Doors. Very safe. That's one I spoke of last week as well. Those that don't know Doors, he's one of those traders that's really turned his trades around and is really showing a lot on the trading floor. So keep it up. So we're just waiting for the pan out here on the 1 minute. And then we got some goals going on here. But let's flicker down before we hit that zoo. This one dropped down. We need to find some sort of support for this one. If this one wants to keep on going, we got 16 mil with an average of 142. That triggers something in my brain. Pay attention to it. This is the 1 minute. I like that the SMI is below waist high. Then, because that's more room that we go to the upside, obviously. Definitely want that RSI to come down, but if this RSI does, it can turn here and continue with a newer high. But so just got to kind of watch it right now. I think what they kind of just did right now was really a push down just to get it for a cheaper price. So start, once we get to a certain point and it starts pulling back and lifting its skirt, then go ahead and keep your eye on the buys, okay? And watch the numbers of how much people are buying. That tells you how much the stock is worth at that point. And like I said, if you see those big numbers go in, if you're in already, then good for you. If you're not, if you want to pop in and use that as a strategy, get in real quick, but make sure you get your stock out before you see that big number sell. So a lot of indications you get by just watching this right here. Just as much as see this one's stale and this one's flickering a lot, right? This one's flickering a lot more than the rest. So what would you do? You go back over to this one, and obviously that one's moving right now. So once you get a series, if you set up your charts in the manner I do, that's another scanner I have. I see this thing flickering a lot. There's some tension going on to it. It could be good for one way or the other, and there's ways to take advantage of it. So I still see some more upside right now. You can see some divergence going on here. You got the RSI coming down, the ticker going up, but still looking really healthy. Watch the EMA. Just had something just to tell it to turn around, sit down. We've had enough. So something like that, I would just go ahead and put that mark there. I'm going to go green because that will be our new goal. The top side of our channel once we pull down and find its support here. So probably find that over here on the 30. There we go. On the 32nd, we're just waiting for the RSI to pick up. SMI on the 32nd is ready to go, and the bears are leaving. So that goes back to the 1 minute. You can see that we still got some room for the upside. So it's just right now it's just coming down, get pushed down here, get it for the cheapest price you can, and go ahead and continue up with that. So volume looks great. And let's go ahead. Did we throw some marks on this one yet? No. Try to find some goals real quick. It's about where we're fighting in this area right now. I'm just gonna go for this one right here. So we're gonna have to do some more work. We're gonna have to pan that one back out again. So let's go pop that one to green. So even that right now, 570. Our goal's 862. There's still a lot of money to be made there. This is the day chart. So, but now we have that mark over here on our 1 minute. Let's go check the half hour. I'm looking at this. We're ready to continue RSI. You see the SMI right here on the half hour. See how it was about to get shut down. It says nope, and see how it's opening up in the manner it is. That's showing a lot of strength. So let me turn this down for a second. And then we can see the RSI is ready to do a crossover and test some new highs. So looking good on the half hour there as well. So there'll be money made in here. Like I said, we got 6, and what's right after 6 is that 816. So looking really good. Let's go back over to that ZURA. And this one was halted at open. That's fine. That happens. Did really good in pre-market. So did that long, like I was explaining, before, you get that consolidating period, and then you get that you get upwards, big, long consolidating. That's quite the dip, though. But then it popped right back up, So maybe we're going to be doing the stair-stepping situation. I can see it with the RSI that happening. SMI now got rejected. Now come across, just getting a crossover. So we're coming up into an entry point. You see the candle now reacting to it. If you want to start getting confirmation, start dropping down your time frame. We're on the 30 seconds. And just stay on the 30 seconds real quick. What I always do, okay? Because remember, I want to pull my money as I go. I mean, that's just basically what I want. I want to put my initial investment in, and by whether if I could do it in a couple candles, get my get my initial investment out, go back in with your earnings, okay, and now you can now you're playing on the house's money, okay. But remember, at the end of the day, don't look at it, hey, well, I made that, I already got my money out, I could lose it. No, that's not what your job is. Your job here is to continue stacking that and compounding that, okay. Eventually, now you're running off of, at this point, you're running off of just house money and all your investments. And, that's where you want to go. And then you can start putting it away for the future at that note, without taking whether money from your paycheck from your employment or from your savings or whatnot. So I'm sure you understand the point there. So this is a good play right here. Now we're getting our confirmation here on the 30 seconds, and that confirmation is going from 7.18 or 7.20 now up to that $7.88. That's the retest on it. So this is good. Set your alarms, hit your stop losses. This one's good to go. And here it goes now. Start to pick up. Remember, we have to, let me open my book real quick. We're on a 30-second right now. That's my no-go zone, right? I already committed. I'm done. If it hits this, I'm out. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Easy as it. You can say it. It's not that easy to do it, but you gotta stick to it. There's our goal, right? That's what we want to pull out of this first leg, and then go ahead and mark in your midway point. To make sure that you're on track of where you're going. Right? So you can run in this channel and play this. That's fine, because I can get here, sell here, and do this all day long if I want, until it decides to break out one way or the other. And I made all those gains, yes, from this point to this point, you may only get, say around numbers, say, hey, you get 10%. Well, then it once come back down. Well, guess what? You get to go play that 10% again, and you can play that 10%. And at the end of the day, this thing only moved 10%, but you made 40, 50% out of it. And that's good. That's what you're supposed to be doing, Or like I said, it's all about how much you want to work. At the end of the day, how hard you want to work. So. You hear me at times say, this was not worth not worth my time. It's not saying I'm better or not. It's just, it's just saying I'll make more money working with something else. So, and say, hey, okay, well, now let's take this for example. And if you're in this play here, and there's something else that's moving, like we got this one starting to pop right here. We got to go over and find our some goals. So you got to set your goals here. So I'm basically what I'm trying to get at is you can make more money with your time somewhere else. So it's all up to you how hard you want to work. So this one's getting ready for a retest as well. Let's jump this back down to the 1 minute. Looking beautiful. Broke out right before the wedge. That's okay. Still going to have a reaction. Just waiting for the bottom right here. This would be a catch the bounce scenario here. So utilize your patience, and wait for those confirmations, and then go ahead and catch that bounce and ride that baby up. Buy the dip, sell the rip. That's how you do it. You can see how these are just kind of getting stale. So eventually I'm going to pull these off, or I'm going to wait. I might put those down somewhere else on a different chart. Until they're ready to move. But obviously I found something in them interesting, so I'm not just going to disregard them. So R&R is going back up for that retest of the $195. So for the large caps, we got a couple of them here. We got this Mardana, which is something that Doors had called out there on the trading floor. I'm sure he's playing this both ways. He's playing it either short it, or he's getting his calls. So it's all kinds of movement here. You can play this thing in and out. You can just stick with one. You can go over here and just play. Him and I were just talking about playing the triple Qs right now and the S triple Qs, and he was saying that he prefers to just play the triple Qs. He doesn't like the S triple Qs. which is fine, But he saw the same thing I saw, so it's great to get that camaraderie and that same, not unimind, but hey, you know what? You are in the right direction. Other people are seeing the same thing you are. That's great. That's awesome. That's the same thing I was approaching him. I was like, hey, it's about that time for them triple Qs. Start playing those for a little bit. Sit back and just play that one stock. I mean, if you go, I understand that, I don't want to call myself like a scatterbrain, because that's not. There's a lot more to what's going on here. It's just I move a lot faster than most, but in order to actually sit there and learn these, it's probably better for those to just stick with one trade, learn how a ticker reacts back and forth. Then you can really take the time to take this input, then jump in back and forth how I am. So I love to take that time. And one thing I thrive on here is teaching somebody else something new that's going to help and benefit them. But not only it benefit them, the gift keeps on giving. It's going to benefit their family in return. It's going to benefit their relationship and all the other stuff. So I love teaching. I love telling you what I know. I love learning stuff on a daily basis. So if there's something that you find interesting here that we're speaking of, whatever, like I said, we do got that Discord over there. Come on in, time permitting. I would love to sit back and take one ticker and talk through it, what I'm saying, and give them more time to question and answer. So if you like that, come on into Discord. We can sit back and draw together and go in and out of trade. I have no problem with that. That's a lot of fun. That's what we're here for. So as things start recapping here, are starting to pan out. Recap a little bit on this morning. Like I said, very blessed, very excited, everybody. We got that partnership, that affiliate with trading ideas or trade ideas, and it's a blessing. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. It's gonna make a lot of gains around here. Teach everybody how to use it properly. It is worth the time and the effort. Learning these scanners and how they work and what works for you. Until you start pushing some buttons and stuff. How do you really know what works for you? What scans you actually work for you as well? Everybody's unique and different in their own ways. So very excited, and I'm blessed. Thank them so much for having us aboard with them as well. So as the week go, we're still finishing up the layout and everything right now, but this week we'll have our scanners up and going, and we'll start rocking and start massaging into not a schedule, but into a rhythm, how it's going to help everybody. So any thoughts, any changes, we have that Discord. Come and discuss it, or if not, throw it here in the chat, or maybe leave it in a comment. So remember, if you go back and look at these videos, please leave a comment. Tell us what your thoughts, about the day, or maybe agree to disagree or whatever. That's fine. That's what it's there for. We're not always right. That's why we have tons of indicators to try to tell us or help us get to that same position where we're right. So enough with that. I noticed that Doors just came in. He's calling out MMA. We can go over and take a look at that. Make a little space over here for it. MMA. Okay, that's Metamaterials. Solid stock. And right there, we're going over here at 25 cents. I like that, Doors. Why did I like that? Because I love my penny stocks. If I could get this thing to run to $1.25, I mean, that's imagine that, 4x, 5x. So that's what we're looking for. Get in before it rips. So basically, this is a new ticker I'm looking at this morning. We'll go over and take an eye on what's going on. Just had earnings on the 12th. Currently, right now, we have 1 million with an average of 11 million. So definitely got to have some news on this one if we're going to get it up and going. We don't have the volume, but not saying things don't move on low volume. Go over here and check over here, see if we got any news. Last news posted was it missed quarter one in losses and misses revenue estimates. So didn't do too good on the earnings. You can see on the daily it is starting to point to the downward side. Obviously, the ideal place to get this is, down here at the bottom. So right now you'd be buying high unless have a little secret card that says, this thing's going to pop. Then it'll be more of a riskier play. So we could drop down on the lower time frame, see if we get those to start turning around. Half hour, we still need to come down a little bit. Notice, over here's a lot of buys coming in. And with the buys here, folks, if you look over here, this way I like having that time of sales and how much they're selling here. Look at the buys in right now. They got nine. Yes, it is a 25-cent stock, but you got 9,000, you got 2,000, you got 1,200, you got 3,300. People are like this point here. They think that it found its bottom. So they're going in with deep with their shares. It's not just 100. It's not 5s, 10s, or whatnot. So. We got that 1170 just sold. I believe I saw that somewhere back over here. Somebody had somebody around 1,000 or 1,100. So a little bit of sell off. They're still pushing it down. Looking for an entry here on the half hour. You're looking for that prime entry at 24.50, where we're at now. So all depending on what platform you're on, you're most likely you're going to get a 25. So. But prime entry would be that 24. But we already broke over. We're at 24.86. You're gonna get the 20. You're gonna get the 25. So there's our goal. We want 29 cents on the 30-minute. So that's not bad. You're doing really good at that point. From 24 cents or 25 cents to 29 cents, you made 4 cents. You add that up. You times that by 10,000, 100,000. You're doing your job. So half hour looks positive. That now found its bottom. Still looking, waiting for our RSI to turn around. SMI is low below the belt. Getting ready to turn here. Double bottom on the wicks. Lifting its skirt down to 15. Drop it down over on the 5. 5 to SMI, we're below the waist. And it seems to be that the bears look like they're getting ready to leave town. So about to go bullish. We got the flip over on the SMI, which is positive. And we are on the right side with the RSI, but getting close. It could collide right here and then go down, drop down more. So I would be looking for that entry of 24.5. So would I FOMO in right now and jump in this? No, not yet. That's telling me on the 5 minutes to do it. So let's jump over to the minute. Let's go see what's happening right now. Now we got confirmations here. Now this is the Hawkins candles that I have presented, but this is a upwards trend line here. Okay, so you look at this. If you like, one green with the decision candle. Here's the decision candle. We got the upside to it. We got the crossing RSI. We have the crossing of the SMI looking gorgeous. 1 million still with that volume 11 million. Seeing how things react. Something just triggered in my head, how things have been reacting lately. Like I said, we had 1 billion in volume with an average of 1 million, and the ticker just went down all day. So things have been moving on low volume. Something says, triggers something in my head. You know what? This possibly is going to be moving on low volume, but I got to get that more information. I need that data. You know what I mean? What I got here right now is not enough data for me to get a confirmation. So. How do you get that? Sit back, just watch the times of sales, see what people are buying at, see what price they're buying at. Because remember, those prices and stuff is stuff that you want to watch out for either support or resistance. So keep on top of that. All right, utilizing the patience here. So I like this. So those are in it right now. Let's just say on the 1 minute time frame, ideal price or no go zone is 0.2458. Okay, so that's 24.58. That is our no go zone. We're done with that. Right now, just our first little pull. You would like to at least see that return of that 26. So you're pulling it by pennies. Remember, earnings are earnings. Gains are gains. So. But yeah, I understand it's just a penny, but hey, it all adds up. You got 1,000 shares. Well, that's 1,000 pennies. So you're making money regardless. So yeah, that would be my first pull. So till things start moving. Like I said, you can either set your alarms or whatnot. If you're in this, set your stop losses, or if not, make sure that chart is in front of you as you go ponder and do low prospecting. And that's what we're gonna do now. That one's not moving that fast. We're looking for some opportunities, something that's going to really catch your eye. Would be something like the SMI's at the bottom, RSI's at the bottom. We found its support, stuff like that. Okay, so this one right here, folks, this is a great example. Here we go. This is going to, one of those things that do it long enough, hey, it's going to pop. And this is one right now. It's ready to pop. So why? We got the upward consolidation, and then we're going to get a upwards direction on it. So we got to keep these to the EMA to open its legs back up again. I think that what they're doing right now, they're just trying to push it down to that 580, and I don't think they're not going to give it to it. So they're trying, because $5.80 would be a beautiful entry for this play right now. And we're about to get the cross in the RSI. Okay, I already found a no-go zone because we drop below this. Actually, let's just call this our no-go zone right there. There's going to be problems. So let's see if we can pan it. It pans out from here. There's already my no-go zone. Made job, not in the trade yet. So remember, I'm looking for that. I want what they want. I want that $5.80. And I don't think we're going to get it. So it'll just be a quick market buy at that point. Catch the momentum. Get out. There's my first. This is just the 1 minute. So I'm using that 68 as my first pull on it. So almost making a buck. Starting to pull back now. It's staying off that 590. Here we go. It keeps coming down, tested. Like we want that 580. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's gonna be the 590 if you get it in on time. So we're going in right now. This would be, like I said, the intentions of this trade right here would be a dollar movement. A little under $1. We're gonna pull off of this with a little over $5 investment. So that's not bad. That's doing great. It doesn't matter if you get one share, if you get 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares. Gains are gains. Be proud of yourself. You rinse and repeat this enough times, you're gonna have that confident, and your risk factor is gonna go way low. What I mean? Your trade. You're doing your job. You're in that zone. So I love that zone. That's what I thrive for. That's why I want other people to find that zone, and once they know it, just get into it and ride with it and have fun. Throw some earphones on, listen to music, or sit back and like we do on the trading floor. We're in the trade. It helps us calm, not FOMO in. It keeps the pressure down. It's kind of like BS, mingle around without disturbing the floor. So we have a couple trading floors there. As we're waiting for this to get down to $5.80. We do have a war room there. War room is pretty much if you don't like the riffraff or anything going on the trading floor, you want something a little more quiet, or you need to concentrate, go in that war room. Please all respect that war room when you go in there. It's not one place to bring one conversation to go hang out and bring it to another place. It is there for a reason. So if nobody's in it, nobody's in it for a reason, because they're not in that deep trade. So when you're in the war room inside there, respect that room, keep quiet, stick to your own, hey, if you're another person in that same trade, of course, converse back and forth, but that is a place that we can go and stay deep into your trade, if you don't want that riffraff. So, and people, people more welcome to go inside there if they're not into any trades, and maybe just, I guess at that point, they're going to have the charts up. So, but you're more welcome to put your charts up in those rooms too. So if you go inside that room, somebody has their charts up, and you're in the war room, you're not in that trade, if you permitted, maybe you can ask a question, when's a good time to come in and out, but remember that person's in there for a reason. So, but the point I was trying to make is you can go in there as well, just keep your mouth shut, watch what they're doing, and learn something too. So there's a lot of different rooms here to mess around and hang out. So if you don't want to trade that day, like I said, we got the concert room up there. We can always throw We always throw the movies or something else on, or you can sit up there and just BS back and forth. And we have the newsroom. Someone got some really good news, and people, and that news is pertaining to that individual's trades, and news is going off up in the newsroom. Go buzz over there real quick and see what the news is about, and that's a place for you guys to discuss that news and all that stuff. Um, but the trading floor, you're gonna get a mixture of everything inside there. You're gonna get people talking about their personal lives. You're gonna get people talking about their trades. You're gonna get people talking about just random things. Um, and it works as a flow. It does. When things start moving really quiet, it gets quiet in there. We get deep into our trades as well. But like I said, there's always a little place for somebody here. In the Discord, and there's like I said, we have classrooms there that we get enough registered there. Then I'll open up the classroom to those individuals, and we'll go in and we'll have a couple hours a week or a couple hours a day that we can sit back and get some one-on-one tutoring going on. All right, I got about 15 minutes, and I gotta get the boy up. All right, so like I said, on this one here, we're still expecting the upside with it. This is that upwards consolidate and look for to continue that upward trend. I guess why right now we're waiting for that. Let's go and make sure we do got our goals. Yeah, so this would be the $8.61 if we get over that 668. So we possibly could be looking at a $2 movement, out of this, a $2 gain in this investment. So this is a 30-minute. It could take, just say for example, if you look at this right here, from this point here, it took one, two. It took 2.5 hours to be able to get this up. So can we do that same movement in the next 2.5 hours? Absolutely. Can we do it all in one 30-minute candle? Yep. So this is a great day trade. I'm sure it's going to pay off for those. 30-minute, we are high on the RSI, so I see that little bit of pullback on that. But to know exactly what it's doing, we would have to jump forward. 15 minutes seems to have found its bottom a little bit, so I think possibly we're retesting this. We won't know until we drop down. Here goes the 15-minute, getting close to get that turnaround, trying to find that bottom. Like we already said, we want that $5.80. I think I missed it. If you had a buy order, I'm sure you picked it up, but I did not let I let the market know a little. I don't like to know a lot exactly what I'm doing. So less they know is the better for me. That's why I look at it. So I'm seeing it here on the 1 minute. We got a pattern setting up. We played these patterns before. One we just drew out, striked a little bit early. There we go. Actually, let's go ahead and get our down on that because let's do that. Let's go over here because remember I'm gonna mark on the crossing and what I anticipate when it's either going to be green on my vertical lines or it's going to be red, and that of course it speaks for itself. I say when we get to this point, or by the time we get to this point, we have upwards direction coming. So something as I'm flickering through, I can always look right over. It's a lot better than having just that. So see this bullish pattern setting up here. You can even draw the line a little finer if you like. Grab the bottom of these bodies here and drop your line. Here comes the breakout. We're getting up and over that trend line. Let's pop this trend line up right here real quick. Just get some really good confirmation. Definitely. And it's breaking out right now. On the 1 minute, we're at the bottom. That's the buy-in zone. The SMI looks great. And here we go. We're getting ready for that run. So patience paid off on this one. And the first pull is $6.68. I don't know if you can hear the background. Got the chickens saying they did their job. They laid an egg. Either that or crow or hawk is trying to get to them. I couldn't get below 683 on this one, or 583. I'm watching my trade right now. See how it just pulled back and found some support. There's no reason why you wouldn't just take your gains right there and come back and then come up on here. But see how something moving so fast, you might lose your entry. You know, so play those accordingly. But there was definitely a scalp that was going on there on a lower time frame. There it is right there. You could just took this and just got that been out. So 30 seconds looks good. Testing new highs on the RSI on the 30 second, and SMI is looking to get ready to cross to the downside. There it goes. So you would be out of this position at this point. Let it fall where it wants. Because I feel just, it's not like, oh, crud, it's coming down. No, I want to get it for cheaper. I've already made some money. I want to get it for cheaper. I want to make it. I still feel just as good about this trade going to that 668 than I did before this drop. So I still feel confident. I'm jazzed because now I'm going to get it for cheaper. I'm going to make even more money off of it. Gains. Okay. There we go. Got one confirmation. Got the SMI just dabbling right here. Just waiting. It's starting to cross right now. But let's get the RSI to cross, and that would be continuous of an upward trend on the RSI. So 30 second. This would be a confirmation candle I would use. Definitely get that third candle confirmation. It's always safe. That was odd. There you go. Excuse me. So let's see if we get this continuous of this upward trend on this time. Remember, we got to break up and over that 668. And remember how we talk about those halfway points? So here's my no, actually that's not my no-go zone. This is my no-go zone right there. Make it red. I'll kind of color coordinate these real quick. And just go ahead and get your halfway point. Right there. And you can see how it's fighting that battle even more. So we gotta get up and over it. That's just a gauge for me. That's all this is right here. Just saying, okay, we got up over half. It's showing that it does have its support. It's not getting shut down. I can use this as an exit. I could play this channel in and out. I could play this channel in and out. The top side and low side. But ultimately, you do want to break out of the upside here. And I said earlier, so in about, what's it coming down to? About 7 more minutes, I'm going to step away. And at that point, that's where we go ahead and we're going to end the stream. Anything important that comes up, we're definitely going to pop in on stream. So if you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps. And while you're down there, hit that notification bell. So when we do pop in live with some breaking news, you get notified and you can pop over and take advantage of what we're looking at. After that as well, about 15 minutes after I close, I'll be over on the trading floor. So if anybody has any questions or any thoughts or any concerns or whatever, please, you can find me over in the Discord. The link is in the description below. Plus, we do have a QR code over there that you can just go ahead and point your phone at, and it'll bring you right over here to the trading floor. So after the stream is done. The day is not done. Our day doesn't. Our day starts when from pre-market to post. So, even in after hours, something starts popping, then we will be coming on stream. So that notification bell is very important. It can really we're coming on for a reason, and the reason why is because there's money to be made, and we're gonna let you guys know where we're at with it. So on this in particular trade, you kind of see a before I just jump off, see this channel that we're in. We need to get out of this channel. All right, so use this channel as a gauge. You see we're coming up, we're testing. We just popped up and through it, showing strength. Guess where we're going? We're on our way over to that $6.68 and testing new highs after that. So start to finish from that 580, even to now, you're in the trade for 15 minutes. That's beautiful, got still creating newer highs. We got decision candle going on there. Not liking the decision candle. It's telling us, we're not ready to bust out. Yep. It's not ready for us to bust out of this channel yet. We got to consolidate. You got to wind up that arm before you go ahead and get a nice big old swing on it. But we definitely want to get up over this halfway point and get out of this channel that we're in. So those are in this play. That's what's happening with that. Let's just, let's see the ZURA. What's our thoughts on that? Let's go over here on the minute. Getting pushed down right now. RSI is too high. I'm okay with the position with the SMI. So, but that looks like we're going to do a little bit of stair stepping on that one. 30 minutes, same thing, double top. Got to watch that with the body. So this one's still iffy. Kind of looks like things kind of went sideways. It's starting to cool down here, not flickering as fast. Another one that we're looking at. This GCT, this George Cat Thomas. RSI is getting to the place where we like it. I like the position of the SMI. Actually, really like the position of the SMI. You see how we're back down to the bottom again. We want to run this RSI or the SMI all the way up. We want to run this RSI up. So right now, I think personally, even if I had to swing this, I would be swinging this this trade right here. It's not bad. $8.20 in right now. On the 1 minute chart, we're looking for a retest of that $11.78. So keep your eye on this trade. I know I will be in and out of it for sure today. That's almost guaranteed. Let's see how our volume is doing. We got 20 million with an average of 142,000. Volumes there. Start watching your buys. You'll know when it starts lifting its skirt. Make sure we get these buys start coming up. I think now it's just starting to lift its skirt right now. Go over here to our 30-second. Start looking for your entry price. All right. I can look like, yep, there it is. We just got the switch over right now. Don't worry about that little push off. That's fine. Or that little sell off. That's fine. We're just confirming this downward trend, this breakout at this point right here. So without taking too much time, I could just show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that breakout right there. All right. I get an indication I'm at SMI where we're at a point, and I'm going to ride this baby, like I said, all the way up to $11.78. We'll be watching that area of $10.22 along the way. First draw would be $9.19 area. So here goes ending of that wedge cycle. So let's see if we get this upward on this candle right now. We had a decision candle before. That's a positive. So we just need that to hold up above and close the next bar, close up above, and that would be my confirmation that we're at bottom. Looking back, checking for the buys and sells, keeping that in mind. Still consolidating, coming down. Next 2 minutes, we got to see something, or we have to draw a new trend line. Actually, I'm seeing one right now. Maybe we'll throw it up real quick. Still got another minute. Oh, yeah, I gotta get the boy up too. So, all right, folks. So I'm going to be taking off here. Thank you for joining us this morning. And like I said, there's a lot more to come. And please come join us over in Discord. It's a lot of fun. The day doesn't stop just because the channel is ended. There's a lot more fun, a lot more games going on. You know where to find us. The link's in the description. And we will see you guys tomorrow, unless there's something breaking that comes up, and we'll pop back in. So keep those notification bells on. Thank you, everybody. God bless, and make sure that you have your stop losses, or keep an eye on your trades, and take those gains when you see them. So I will be speaking to you guys tomorrow morning. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.